This season, your team has finished the first half of the year with a 10-4-2 record. This is the third in the OUA. Talk about the team's performance thus far this season.
Okay, we had a really good first half. We dropped a couple games that we'd like to have back, but they were, games that I think we learned from moving forward. We've dropped 2 games to one team, and everyone else has just been a single loss. So we're hoping they grab the second half series off of the teams that we've lost 1 game to. The team, I think for us it was learning how to fight harder, learning how to be a little more aggressive, and those are the things that we're focusing on going into the second half.
Talk about the goalie situation, the difference between the first-year Brooke Siddall and third-year Danielle Scrufranis.
So far this year, the 2 goalies have split their time on the ice. I think they have 8 games each, and their numbers are almost identical. They're very different goalies. Danielle is, they're almost the same height. They're both pretty small. Danielle looks like a smaller goalie on the ice than Brooke, but they're different in their approach to the game. Brooke is a very technical goalie. She plays the puck well defensively on rebound perspective. Danielle is much more of a reaction goalie. She's fast, she's quick, not quite as technical, but is willing to battle for every single puck. So the combination of those 2 things has allowed us to be able to split the games with the 2 of them this year, and they've had a lot of success against every team. They've both played each team this year. Going into the second half, we're not exactly sure yet where we're going with our goalie situation, whether we're going to continue to split the games or whether one of them is really going to, grab the lead and take off as our go-to goalie in the second half.
The first game back in the New Year's against York and Toronto on January 7th and the 8th. You've lost to both teams already this season. What are you expecting in the rematch?
Those are the 2 games we lost in a shootout this year, York and Toronto. I expect a really tough rematch. They're both really tough teams. They started out the year having a really rough first half for those 2 teams. Generally, they are top 6 teams in the league. So, it took them a little bit to get going, and weather teams underestimated them in the second half, but they both had really good results. So for us, going in, it's knowing that it's not going to be an easy game. It's going in with, a little bit of a chip on our shoulder for losing those 2 shootout games, and knowing that there's a little bit of payback involved in, in those games as well.
Looking into the future, who are some of the players that you see building the team around, not just this year, but also in the future?
Obviously, Katie Mora is a big part of our future. She came in as a first-line player this year, even though she's only in her first year. So obviously we're looking to build around Katie. And we also have, one of our goaltenders is a rookie as well. So Brooke is going to be a big part of our future as well. We have several other rookies that, haven't found themselves in top playing positions, but as the years progressed so far are really gaining their confidence, and they're starting to be able to play against senior players. We've got 2 players that are coming from midget AA hockey that, maybe haven't played with as much, haven't had to play with as much grit because they've been playing smaller players or players that don't have, maybe as much talent. So those guys, it's just taking them a little bit longer to get into that position. And they're starting to grow as players, and we're seeing that even though they're not on our top lines right now. And defensively, we had a really strong defensive core returning. So our rookie defense haven't seen too much ice this year, but are definitely starting to do things in practice that we're noticing, and it's going to get them into the games in the future.